Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
This is an extract from a much longer conversation that I had with Alex Krainer and Tom Luongo, and it was recorded on Friday, the 13th of September. If you want to hear the whole thing, go to bit.ly CryptoRichOdyssey. Links in the description below.
I just want to say how far off kilter we've gone in the Western societies in general. Because what we have is a radical perversion of what humanity is supposed to be. We're supposed to revere our elderly. You know, they brought us into this world. They brought us up. They have the most experience of all and any of us. They know a whole lot of shit. And so in any native society, in any traditional society, the elderly are revered and treated with utmost respect. We are treating them as a bargaining chip. And we just want them to kind of quietly go away and disappear and die. And you have like a whole political class who understands this, but they still go and vote to kill them. I think I can't even believe that people go like, oh, you know, isn't this terrible? I don't know. All these people deserve to be tarred and feathered and run out of town on a rail. All of them. Keir Starmer down, the whole Labour Party.
One Labour MP voted against the motion.
Okay, that guy gets to go on the rail without the tar and feathers.
Okay,
50, he can keep his clothes on.
I think
it is
about 50.
You are correct, Alex. Completely.
50 Labour MPs abstained. I think it was about 50, and one voted against. That was it. It's just appalling. But that shows this is no longer the Labour Party of old.
Oh,
these are all WEF blow-ins.
I think it's very important to add that the reason why all these things are happening is that the people who are in power are absolutely desperate. Because when the ship wasn't rocking and when they were smugly comfortable in their ability to control society and to remain on top, unchallenged and unseen, basically, because most people were not even aware that something like this existed. Then, we had this freedom of speech, we had the freedom of movement, and they weren't attacking our children, and they weren't attacking the elderly. Things were kind of normal. Yep. The reason why they're doing all this is because their whole system is coming down like a house of cards. And so they're desperate and they're lashing out because they want to be rid of us, because we are the ones who will be coming after them when shit hits the fan. I mean, it is hitting the fan right now.
But I do know that, let's see what Jerome Powell does. If he only cuts 25 basis points, the market's going to be really, really, really disappointed. And then, because it's priced for 50 to 75. So therefore, you have to start thinking in terms of, okay, so then what's going to happen? I think if Powell cuts 25 basis points, we're sitting here with the U.S. 10-year trading at what, 3.65? With the gilt trading at around 3.8? And they can't let that spread get too high because then everything starts to break apart, because we've run into this before and we talked about this. Watch U.S. UK gilt, the 10-year spreads push above about 50, 60 basis points, and someone is going to make a move. Like some big crisis is going to occur, and we're going to wake up one morning and, whoa, God. And, dogs and cats living together, and the house is going to be burning, is going to be on fire. That'll be your tell. But the market is priced right now for 50 to 75 basis points, probably 50. Powell only goes 25.
Flaw in your thinking. There's a flaw in your thinking.
I know.
You're not thinking like the WEF. You're not thinking like a ruthless oligarch who's committed that the useless eaters die off, but up until their death, they own nothing, eat bugs, and are happy. You need to change your thinking.
I think that the defining characteristic is not that they're ruthless, it's that they're inbred degenerates. who are complete idiots.
Anything else you want to say in terms of politics, macroeconomics, anything like that? Bitcoin, even?
At this point, I don't know. I mean, at this point, gold is doing great. It's going to probably run to $3,000, and then it's probably going to get beat with the ugly stick, up $300, down 200, kind of thing. So just enjoy it, enjoy the ride. The bigger issue is whether or not silver will come along for the ride or not. I'd like it to, but I don't know that it will.
Silver, it's sooner or later it's going to have to, because it just looks ridiculous when you put the chart of gold and the chart of silver. You're like, what is wrong with this metal? Did it go out of fashion or something?
Well,
because gold looks like that. It's almost like it's like a beautiful trend,
right?
And silver looks like a bunch of ditches, one next to the other. Yeah. And so I think
well, one of the things that's been that's come out is, Vince and I have talked about this. Vince Lanchi and I have talked about this a lot, which is that a lot of silver demand is not hitting the exchanges anymore. A lot of silver is being produced and bought directly off the producers, either as doré or as concentrate, and then being shipped back over to China and then refined there. And so because they don't, and they're getting it at the best price that way, because if they have to go on and they don't want it to go to the exchange, and then the exchange, then of course what that's doing is that's putting pressure on the exchanges, because the exchanges don't have enough silver to cover their the people's trying to stand for delivery. So what do they have to do? They have to bomb the price in order to wash people out of the markets.
Wow. Yeah. All of that is fine.
Sure.
But you're talking rational sense. I'm talking about irrational nonsense, because I'll give you my experience with Bitcoin.